Henry McClure Live. I'm here meeting with Father Nikolai today. The corner here of Medford and Hunon at the Orthodox Church. I'm telling you, this would make a great house. Now, I've talked with the planning department, and Mike Hall of the planning department has kind of devised some ways to add a garage on that side. But you know, today Father Nikolai brought up a good idea about how to get a driveway here. And maybe there's a way to do a driveway onto this street and kind of change up what we do in the alley. Now, one thing that's we still have to figure out, the Unitarian, the stained glass is committed to the Unitarian Church. They've got a handshake, and if they can come remove it, they can get it. But without the stained glass, that kind of changes the whole west side of this building, the look. But I mean, I've got to get with Brian Falk about doing some. I've got the as-built online, and I think we're going to change up the residential referral, the residential component. But I need to get that squared away with Chris out at Keller. But the whole reason for moving here, we're moving, is because of a new property that they bought. I actually was going to buy it myself and move out there on the south border would have been the Turnpike. The east border is Adams. But what's really wild about this property, to those that know Dana K. Anderson, this property right here was he had a contract to buy it. So it was the first deal he didn't do, or it was the last deal he didn't do, whatever, as a home builder. He had all that land tied up. All he had to do was sign the contract. And the story about the Buddhist, ask Cheryl and Marvin about it someday if you know her out at Alpha Title. It's a beautiful story. It's one of those miracle stories. And I love those miracle stories. I actually just lit a candle and prayed for Joe McBride. And I asked that the healing energy that went through my body on May 2nd, 2015, go visit him and heal him. Oh, look at that. That's cool. You can come here and make a donation online. We've got to get this, if you're buying this, buy it as a fundraiser. Forget about market value or appraised value. I got to find a guy that will say, overlook expenses and help the church get on to their next place. So I think there might have been kind of a miscommunication between me and the old agent about this really, I'm pretty simple as a commercial real estate guy. If, let's just say if the church can't make it here, well, don't try to put another church back in. And their numbers are growing as people come back to faith. And the Orthodox Church is very interesting. Rome pulled away from the church in 1100, and later on, King Henry pulled away from Rome 1435 to create the Episcopal Church. But this is for a home. You'd be blessed. You'd be blessed living in here. And I'm pretty sure, I think that up there on top, I think that cross is going to stay. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out again. Huh. Maybe I can relocate that sign. But we could relocate that sign. I've got to get some signage up for the church on Adams, which gets I get the opportunity to deal with the Buddhists again. I'll tell you real quickly. It was an interesting meeting. The Buddhist, the matriarch, or the matriarch's the woman, right? Or is it the patriarch? It's one of those days I don't know everything. But anyway, the head lady in charge of the family, she was disappointed that they were never able to do, they wanted to they wanted to have a Buddhist temple there and create a place for Buddhists, and they weren't successful in that mission, and she got nervous about it. And so she said, I prayed to God. She goes, but I feel bad about praying to God because I don't know God. And as a Buddhist, her relationship with the Trinity is nil. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So she goes, I feel bad. I'm praying to God just because I'm in a spot where I need God now all of a sudden. And she put her arm on me, a hand on my arm, and she goes, then you came along. And all the hair stood up on my arm, and I felt an energy surge run through me second to none. And I looked over at Cheryl, and I go, do you feel that? She goes, your hair's standing on end. She goes, look at my arms. I mean, I think it was standing on end no matter what, because I might have used some wax. But she had goosebumps. I had that feeling. It was a beautiful moment. Marshall Barber's over here touring the property with Father Nikolai. So I'm going to go join in the conversation. And just think residential here. Or it would make like an architect that works out of his home, or a home-based business. It'd actually be a good place for a real estate agent. I think Chris Novak ought to buy it. I pray for that guy with all those agents. Hey, speaking of praying, if there's ever a chance, if there's any real estate agents, I could have the opportunity to talk to you about my candidacy for county commission. I'd like the opportunity because I will be retiring my real estate license upon ascending to the District 2 County Commissioner seat. Need your vote. Henry McClure Live. I'm going to post a candle that I posted earlier I did 2 candles, 2 prayers, one for Bianca Bantleon and et al. And Joe McBride. But I love you guys. Henry McClure.